a KQED television production.
I'm telling you right now, I am hungry.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by
Redwood Credit Union, community banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Business and personal, online and mobile, plus nationwide ATMs. Banking for people who call this place home.
Sutter Health CPMC, the new Mission Bernal Hospital, opens August 2018 with all private rooms and comprehensive maternity services. CPMC2020.org.
Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 7 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com. IRG has thousands of surfaces in stock now. Surfaces, selection, service. IRG at MarbleCompany.com. Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests and each one recommends one of their favorite spots and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. Real estate developer and inventor Jesse Herzog wants to revolutionize men's fashion one zip at a time with his business suit onesie, which ensures he's always looking dapper when he's dining around the town. And math tutor Darren Cam is all about the numbers, especially when it comes to eating. Every meal is a calculated experience because he's looking for authentic fare that offers a big bang for his buck. And tech management consultant and Yorkshire lass, Angela Hay, has traveled the world to please her adventurous palate, eating crocodile in Australia, guinea pig in Peru, and goat in Nigeria. But at home, she craves the old-fashioned pork chop found at her neighborhood Woodside diner. Americana is on full display at Bucks of Woodside.
I have the greatest job in the world. I have the job I wanted when I was a kid. I wanted to wander around, talk to amazing people, and get paid for it. And we get about 600 people a day through here.
Well, I'm James McNiven, and my wife Margaret and I founded Bucks of Woodside 27 years ago.
Really, I had no concept, no vision here. We're just sort of American wacky. Everything here has a story. When people come in for the very first time, they're so often really awed by the environment. And the people that have been coming in here for decades just feel like they're coming home. And since my wife and I run the joint and we're on the floor all the time and my kids grew up here, it's really a family business. Our food it's really mainstream Americana, but bigger and bolder. We like to think we've got a lot of originality. Bucks, you know, we became synonymous with a place where a lot of entrepreneurs meet the money.
The Bay Area is all about innovation, and so when people come into a place like this, this is, well, it's a lot closer than Burning Man to hold a meeting. And so I think that I'm successful in spite of my wackiness, not because of it.
It is Ray's birthday today!
All right, Angela, this is a quirky spot, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
If you haven't been to Bucks, there's really no way to describe it.
We just love the artifacts, the exhibits, extraordinary, eccentric, exotic, and the food is comfort food. I love the pork chop. It swims in applesauce, a lovely big pile of potatoes, fresh vegetables, and the pork chop is sprinkled with little spices, but it's mainly plain good eating.
We had the potato skins, which were covered with cheese, house-made guacamole, salsa, bacon, and chicken. So needless to say, it was delicious. We were also blown away by the decor. I think next to our table was a taxidermied squirrel riding a motorcycle. I mean, that was pretty impressive. For a main, I had the chicken piccata, which was nice and lemony with white wine, capers, butter, and mushrooms with very garlicky mashed potatoes, which kind of lends itself to the comfort food.
And what about you, Darren? When you walked in, what was your first impression?
Dude, this place is the trippiest restaurant I've ever been to. You walk in and you see the fake Statue of Liberty. You look up, you see the astronaut and the war plate and a hammerhead shark with a tiger's jaw. And my favorite artifact there, get this, there's a framed copy of a Playboy magazine in Braille, signed by Stevie Wonder.
Brilliant, brilliant.
And let me just say that my wife and I originally were not going to bring our kids, but our babysitting plans fell through last minute. I'm so glad they fell through. They have a scavenger hunt for the kids. It's just like such a fun place.
It's for toddlers to tycoons and tourists. Tesla got started there, and all kinds of different companies. People present their business plans to venture capitalists if you go there for breakfast.
And what did your kids have to eat?
Oh, my kids had the quesadilla, and the quesadilla was actually as large as this mat right over here. It's larger than my head. It was a great value, and my daughter loved it. My other son had the kids' ribs, and it's a great value. It's actually an adult-sized portion.
Right.
And it was so good, to be honest. I ordered a kid's rib for myself as well. So just going to be completely, I'm going to do me, you know.
There's real bang for your buck here, Bucks, right? Real bang for your buck. And what else did you guys eat?
We tried the Bucks Mixed Grill, which had smoky barbecue pork ribs, blackened salmon, and flank steak, which was huge. The portion was great. The salmon was probably the most flavorful, very moist. The pork smoked ribs were second. I think we felt that the steak might have been a little bit tough. That was maybe the one marginal miss, but a huge portion of food. The piece de resistance of the dinner was dessert, actually. The house-made pumpkin pie. So it's made from scratch. The whipped cream is made from cream in-house. We weren't expecting it, and it made us want to go back for all the other desserts.
The desserts are fabulous and really to be shared. I don't normally have the dessert because I'm so full after the main course, but I had the boysenberry cobbler, and boy, was that good. Swedish boysenberries. And you put your spoon on top of the ice cream and the puff pastry, and they just ooze out. I've had the mud pie too, and that's something to be, it's huge, huge.
I too had that pumpkin pie, and it was to die for. It was big enough where the four of us was able to split it. I wanted to go back to the main. I actually was disappointed with my main. I had their signature item was the hot crab cheddar melt, and you know, it was a signature item, so I got it, but it was smaller, you know, than what I was accustomed to. It came on 2 pieces of crostini with a schmear of crab. I was expecting more of like a hoagie style, you know, like layers of meat on top of it. But my wife did enjoy her stuffed artichokes. Okay. She was raving about that. It was large. It came stuffed with shrimp and a little bit of crab, and that sauce was extremely light and tangy, a little bit lemony. And she went raving about that.
All right, your restaurant, Angela, wrap it up for us.
If you want extraordinary, eccentric artifacts and comfort food, Bucks is the place to go.
All right, and Jesse?
Phenomenal potato skins, a squirrel riding a motorcycle, and really friendly service.
Okay, and Darren?
If you're looking for a kid-centric, family-centric place that's as much of a mind trip as it is a restaurant, definitely check out Bucks of Woodside.
All right, if you would like to try Bucks of Woodside, it's on Woodside Road in Woodside. The telephone number is 650-851-8010. It's open every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $30. Hawaii native Darren Kam knows a thing or two about noodles. He grew up eating them Chinese style. But now his favorite preparation is noodles soaked in a hearty broth Laotian style. Tucked away in San Leandro, he finds perfection at a place called Noodles Pho.
We're from Laos. Laos is a small landlocked country in Southeast Asia, and so we specialize in Lao food. Unlike the Vietnamese version, our pho is a little bit more creamier, much more beefier, and has a little bit more kick to it.
Sabai. My name is Cindy Sangsarit.
Sabai, my name is Tong Sangsarit, and welcome to Noodles Pho here in San Leandro, California.
I want to start a restaurant because I want to educate the Bay Area people here about the Lao food. And I want to share that food. All my family here, we love to cook, we love to eat. In the back, in the kitchen, are myself, my 2 moms, my 3 sisters, and in the front are my 4 boys. You could be like a family, be yourself when you're here at Noodles Pho.
After the Vietnam War, we came to the United States as refugees because we got sponsored by a nonprofit organization to come to the United States to escape persecution. And so we're so blessed to be able to be here and so happy and honored to be able to share our tradition and our Lao cuisine with the community here.
All right, Darren, now you have relatives, or your parents are from Vietnam and China,
Yes,
correct?
So
how did you get interested in Laotian cuisine?
I'm a value eater, and I just looked up noodles, and it just popped up, and I was so glad that I found this place. First off, this place is completely nostalgic for me and reminds me of my childhood. It's located in the middle of a residential neighborhood, and it's actually located in a converted house. And when you walk in, the aroma hits you, and you see the aunties and the grandmas in the back working their pots of magic, and immediately the senses are awakened and you get excited. And it reminds me of my grandma, my mom, just laboring in the kitchen for hours on end when I was a kid. This place is run by Laotian immigrants, and this is completely a place that I can get behind and feel good eating there. As good as the story is, it wouldn't be anything without the quality of the food. So when you get there, if it's your first time there, they start you off with a broth sampler. It's a trio of broths. You start off with the pho broth, and it's kind of their riff on pho. It's not a traditional Vietnamese pho broth. It's a little bit spicier than what you're accustomed to. And then you wash off the spice with the second one. It's the yellow one. It's the cow poon. That's my favorite one. It's a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit coconutty and aromatic. And the third sampler is more of a hearty. It's an oil-slicked red tomato-based broth. That's the broth they use in their cow soy. And so it's nice because the broth should be the star of the noodle dish, and you get to choose which one you want. And once you order it, you can't go wrong with either of the 3. I've had them all. But when it comes out, the first thing that you're shocked by is the size of the bowl. The bowl is bigger than the size of your head. And I don't know what Sir Mix-a-Lot is doing these days, but he needs to come out of retirement and do a parody on this place called Baby Got Bowls, because the bowl comes out and you're just like, oh my gosh, look at that bowl.
I was interested in all 3 of the soups on the menu, so to get to try the samplings in like a little shot glass of broth was great. So my wife really appreciated that she could get a smaller size, I could get a larger size. The quantities were huge. We still took some home.
Go for large.
Yeah, so but I thought it was a nice way and creative way to format it.
Right.
I started with the Sai Gok, which is the pork smoky sausage, which was incredible. It has a natural casing, so it has a nice snap to it. Really delicious. And what was also really impressive is there's like a house tomato and chili and oil chutney on the side, which we thought was delicious. So that was a great way to start the meal. I had the cow soy, which was really interesting. Fermented tofu, ground pork, tomato, and then it was kind of a citrusy brightness with lemon and mint, which was really warming in a hearty soup. A very unique flavor that I've had a lot of pho, but I'd never had anything like this. So I enjoyed that. My wife ordered the cow poon, which is a coconut-based broth, which she described as a little bit sweet and a little bit spicy, which I thought was coincidental because that's how I would describe her. But
you get points for that. I'm just saying right now.
The perfect amount of sweet and spicy.
I did the samplers, and I thought, seeing I've had the samplers, I don't need to have the noodle bowl. So I started with the papaya salad, which was way fermented, and the carrots were shriveled, and the tomatoes were soft, and it didn't seem very fresh. So that was a disappointment, the papaya salad, although I did take some home with me, and it was edible. Okay. And then I had the sausage. The sausage was great with the chutney on the side. Thought that was terrific. Then we had the drunken noodles with vegetables, tofu, fresh as fresh. That was great. The noodles were flat noodles like fettuccine and lots of vegetables in between, all very fresh, lovely.
I don't know if any of you guys got the seafood combo with the noodles. I would definitely recommend that. It's only an extra $2, and there's so much protein in there. I was so shocked at the value of this place, you know?
Now dessert. Angela's going, dessert, please.
The mango was done to perfection, and I saw one of the family peel the mango, so it was fresh as fresh, not mushy, not too hard, just perfect. The sticky rice was like sticky rice should be, extremely sweet and coconut flavor. It was really good.
Any dessert for you, or were you too
I
full?
don't know if you'd technically call it dessert proper, but I did have the hazelnut Thai iced tea, which they make in-house, which is sweet and delicious and accompanies the savory soups well. So I would recommend that.
I had a coconut. It was a wonderful fresh coconut, absolutely perfect. Fresh, lovely coconut water.
All right, this is your restaurant. Wrap it up for us, Darren.
If you're looking for a delicious bowl of noodles made with love, and like Sir Mix-a-Lot, you like big bowls and you cannot lie, then Noodles Pho me is gonna be for you.
All right, and Jesse?
Delicious noodles, and don't forget to get the Saigok sausage appetizer.
And Angela?
Go for the drunken noodles and the fresh tofu.
If you would like to try Noodles Pho me, it's on Bancroft Avenue at Broadmoor in San Leandro. The telephone number is 510-850-5080. It's open for lunch and dinner Thursday through Tuesday. Reservations are recommended for a party of 8 or more, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is under $15. Though powerful women are rightly in the news these days, when it comes to wine, smart and savvy females have always played an important role. Think Barbe Nicole Ponsardin, otherwise known as Veuve Clicquot. She was Monsieur Clicquot's widow, or Veuve, who took the reins of the famed French champagne house in the early 1800s. Through ingenuity and strength, La Grande Dame built it into an iconic brand. Modern-day females in charge of world-class wineries are growing each year, too. Take Napa's lauded Spotswood Winery, one of my all-time favorites. Mary, Beth, and Lindy Novak are a family of fabulous women who not only helm this historic property, but have inspired many. Across the pond in Italy, the trio of sisters, Albiera, Allegra, and Alessia Antinori, run a family business empire dating to 1385. Their portfolio of wines includes some of the world's best. I raise my glass to these remarkable women. Jesse Herzog is a proud sixth-generation San Franciscan. He's passionate about supporting neighborhood, community-driven restaurants. Case in point, his cozy and quaint spot serving new American cuisine. In the Fillmore district of San Francisco, it's Gardenias Restaurant.
Well, we opened Woodward's Garden when we were in our late 20s, and we just wanted to kind of open a restaurant and get it out of our systems, and we loved it.
It was a good run. Yeah, it was a good run. 20 plus years.
My name is Margie Connard.
And I'm Dana Tomasino, and we own Gardenias Restaurant. We do it all. We have a wide menu of meat entrees, vegan, vegetable, raw. It's so beautiful to me. It's absolutely where my interest is.
Fresh, seasonal food, changing all the time. You know, we just put asparagus on because California asparagus was available. We ordered it that night, had it on the menu the next day. And the same with the wine list. You know, I can have heavier, denser wines on in the winter, and as spring comes, I'll lighten up more towards Chiavas and Pinot Noirs.
After many years of looking, we found this perfect space. We were lucky. We inherited something that has such good bones. We had to do actually very little when we got here. We painted the walls this kind of dramatic blue, and that just immediately gave it the feel of like nighttime restaurant. We brought our chandelier in from our previous restaurant. It kind of just felt perfect to us. It still has what we've always been. We feel loved here.
We're very lucky.
It's still Dana and Margie.
So it's nice to see that Margie and Dana have come back and have a wonderful new restaurant, Gardenias.
I agree. It is Gardenias is a neighborhood gem in the truest sense of that phrase. When you walk in, it oozes romance. It's softly lit. There's fresh cut flowers on the table. They've picked out unique china for different dishes. There's so many thoughtful touches. It's really just a special evening to go there. And the food is just effortless. It's not like they're trying too hard. It's not comfort food. It's not haute cuisine. It's kind of the best right in between.
And when you go, because they don't have a huge menu, what do you get?
the classics that have been there since they opened, the braised duck, it's cooked for 2 hours in a white wine and shallot sauce. It's phenomenal. I don't think it's ever come off the menu. It comes with a nice jus sauce. It's tender, but again, still crisp on the outside. You cannot go wrong with that dish. And then the other classic is the braised short ribs, which is in a red wine sauce with star anise, which is great because you'll see short ribs on a lot of menus, but there was such a depth to the flavor with the red wine and the star anise. And then they paired it with sauteed greens. So it's, we went there on like a cold winter night, and it is just warming, delicious food.
That's hearty food.
Yeah.
Well, I had the short ribs as well, and they were to die for. Completely succulent, melt in your mouth, tender. And I've always wanted to use this word on a food show. It's unctuous. I literally could eat that dish every day for the rest of my life and die a happy man.
Yeah. It was a cold night, and I came in and had squash soup, my favorite squash soup. It had a very smooth base, but the interesting twist was that it had lumps of the squash and also chickpeas in it with a slight coconut and sesame flavor. It was delicious, absolutely exactly the right thing for a cold night.
I started with the scallops. So my wife and I shared it. It was succulent, it was perfectly cooked and juicy. My only regret about it was that they were like some of the smallest scallops that I had ever had in my entire life. One of them was like the size of a quarter, and I was like, what, did I get a stunted growth scallop or something? You know, and so, but it was cooked perfectly, and I did enjoy the flavors.
We had the crostini with roasted pear and ricotta, which was fantastic. And then actually maybe one of my favorite things I had recently was a shaved Brussels sprout salad with a light cream and red wine vinaigrette sauce with preserved lemon and walnuts. It was sublime. I mean, when you can do something with something as simple as vegetables, it really shows the talent of the chefs and the cooking crew.
Right, and
My
you're
husband
shaking your
had
head.
that. It was excellent. I had the duck, and it fell off the bone perfectly. It was just beautifully cooked. The red cabbage that was with it wasn't sweet. It was just with a very nice hint of balsamic vinegar, perfectly done. And then there were root vegetables for this to sit upon. It was just a wonderful, wonderful dish.
And did any of you have wine to drink? They have a well-selected and well-priced small wine list, but they have wines on tap.
I had the one from Paso Robles. I can't say it like you did.
Giornata Falanghina.
That one, on tap. It was great.
It seems to be a very nice wine bar. If you just wanted to go for a glass of wine, an individual can sit at the bar, which was very nice, I thought.
The service there is fantastic. Yes, everyone's really friendly. I was impressed. The second time I went and sat at the bar with one of my guy friends, a single guy. I think he was overwhelmed by all the romance in the setting and the wine, and he took a shining to the waitress, and the waitress, in perfect professional way, shut him down. And he loved the meal too, so I was impressed.
I really wanted to talk about this dish. It was a pork chop, perfectly crisp and charred on the outside, nice, slightly bitter. And it came with something really interesting. It came with an olive almond tapenade and the salty brininess of the olive and the crunchiness of the almond. I didn't expect that combination to work, but it really worked.
So what about the desserts?
I tried the pear crisp with creme anglaise. Which was lovely.
Angela's
I had the tangerine cake, and I was expecting a very light sponge. It was more like a Greek orange semolina cake, so it was a heavy cake. It was a good cake, but it wasn't what I expected.
I had the tangerine cake as well, and I loved it. It had a nice blend of flavors. It came with a little bit of blood orange, I think, so you get the bitterness of the blood orange. And then when you blend it with that whipped cream, it was just a really nice play of flavors and textures.
And do you feel like you got bang for the buck on this?
All right, so this is where I gotta put some Keep It Real sauce on here. No, the short ribs, as tender and as delicious as it was super tiny. It was like the size of my palm, and I got like Asian hands, you know what I'm saying? So I just wish there was more of it.
Did you agree with that?
I thought they were the right size for a classy restaurant. I thought it was great value for the quality of the food. So it wasn't cheap, but you know, for a night out, a romantic night out in San Francisco, it offered value for the quality.
All right, this is your restaurant. Jesse, wrap it up for us.
If you want a romantic night out with just elegant, delicious food, Gardenias is the place to go to.
All right, and Darren?
If you value quality over quantity in a nice, cozy environment, then definitely check out Gardenias.
All right, and Angela?
I'd go there for a romantic evening and just have some great farm fresh food.
If you would like to try Gardenias Restaurant, it's on Sutter Street at Fillmore in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-621-7122. It's open every night for dinner. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $45. I have to thank my great guests on this week's show. Angela Hay, who tipped us off to Silicon Valley's original power lunch spot, the quirky collectible-filled Bucks of Woodside. And Darren Cam gave us a lesson in Laotian cuisine with savory bowls full of flavor at Noodles Pho in San Leandro. Finally, Jesse Herzog, resplendent in his suitsy, shared his hometown go-to Gardenias restaurant in San Francisco. So join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sabraco, and I'll see you then. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
I like big bowls and I cannot lie.
In your face you get hungry.
So now it's your turn. We want to hear from you if you visited any of our Check Please restaurants. You can post a selfie on Instagram, join the conversation on Facebook, and tweet us anytime. And don't forget to visit our website. All the shows are there, along with my wine videos and notes about the wines we drink on set. You'll also find our fun new web series, Taste This, where we celebrate food and drinks around the Bay. Cheers.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by Oakland International Airport, now with flights all over the world. iFlyOAK.com. IRG has thousands of surfaces in stock now. Surfaces, selection, service. IRG at MarbleCompany.com. Total Wine & More, offering more than 8,000 wines, 2,500 beers, and 3,000 spirits. Total Wine & More, now with 7 Bay Area locations. TotalWine.com.
Sutter Health CPMC, the new Mission Bernal Hospital, opens August 2018 with all private rooms and comprehensive maternity services. CPMC2020.org.
Redwood Credit Union, community banking for the North Bay and San Francisco. Business and personal, online and mobile, plus nationwide ATMs. Banking for people who call this place home.